19 Austin police officers face criminal charges for shooting beanbags at protesters in 2020. Their indictments shook the Austin Police Department, which was already seeing a wave of officers leaving. Now, the KVUE defenders looked into how those indictments and cuts within the department is affecting officer morale and recruiting. Here's KVUE's Tanvi Verma.
First class, that's probably what you want to see.
Tom Huguenet reflects on a career spanning more than 2 decades with the Austin Police Department. 23 years of memory sprawled across this table. He was an APD district representative, helping settle neighborhood disputes and connecting citizens to needed resources.
Probably one of the most rewarding positions I had.
But that changed for Huguenet in 2020 after the killing of George Floyd in Minneapolis drew the ire of police protesters and civil rights advocates called for cuts in police funding.
After having gone through the riots and the defund movement that shortly came thereafter, my unit was cut.
Huguenet was put back on patrol until he decided to retire last year. Now, with 19 of his former colleagues indicted, he believes he made the right decision at the right time.
And see later officers indicted for doing the job that they, number one, were ordered to do with the equipment that they were given. And it just does not seem that that is the type of justice that I signed on for when I was hired in 1993.
Last year in 2021, 210 Austin police officers retired or resigned. That's as many as the previous 2 years combined, 142 in 2020, up from 68 in 2019. A 209% increase during the last 3 years. Head of the Austin Police Association, Ken Cassidy, says the department is recruiting to replace those officers, but the indictments aren't helping.
You know, after the indictments, we're seeing people that were considering coming here to be a police officer not doing that and backing out and going to other places. There
wasn't an immediate spike in officers leaving in February following the indictments, but Cassidy says the department is already spread too thin.
You know, right now we're still sitting at about 1,600 officers, which is probably about 400 fewer than what we need.
He also says that affects their ability to respond to violent crimes.
You know, usually 3 to probably 5 officers responding to a shooting or stabbing, and having just one officer respond to something like that is extremely dangerous to the officer.
Fewer officers also means less traffic enforcement. Last month, the KVUE defenders showed how traffic citations have dropped 69% during the last 2 years.
Just think about the last time you saw an officer doing traffic enforcement. It's probably been a couple of years because, quite simply, we're just not doing it.
Austin Police Chief Joseph Chacon says the department is strategizing ways to maximize the force they have.
Got to build greater training capacity. So I want to have multiple classes that are going at the same time so that we can make an impact overall on our number of vacancies that we have.
But not everyone is convinced fewer officers on the streets is the bad thing.
I think, really what we have to do is, when we hear about a staffing shortage, is really question what it is that the APD is saying they need to achieve that they can't, and are they deploying their people in the best way to achieve those things.
What APD can achieve now is something Huguenet still thinks about. After he retired, he left Austin for the Hill Country.
For me, it was, I had given this city in excess of direct 23 years of my life to the citizens and to the city of Austin. And I felt disheartened that what was it for?
We also checked other police departments in the Austin area. Round Rock, Georgetown, and San Marcos police departments are among those seeing an increase in officers retiring or resigning since 2019. And so are the Travis County and Williamson County Sheriff's offices. For the KVUE Defenders, I'm Tanvi Verma.